Hey y'all, so for my something awesome for COMP6841, I decided to do HackTheBox challenges. Now, HackTheBox is a platform where you access systems or machines, and then you have to hack your way through it so that you can get the flags and then you win. Now, I chose to do this as opposed to CTFs because HackTheBox challenges are more lifelike, and there's a reason why penetration testers use this to test their skills. So I'm going to run through one exploit which I found to be pretty cool when I was working through the challenges. So in one challenge, I had to attack the Kerberos protocol, which Microsoft's Active Directory uses to manage domain networks. So I'm just going to go over this in a high-level view. So step 1 is the client will send a request to the domain controller, and then step 2 is the domain controller will give back an ASREP or authentication server response back to the client, and this will contain a TGT, which is basically like a token which they can use in the future. Now, this TGT is encrypted using the client's password hash, and usually they won't get it so that it can be brute forced. However, you can actually get this TGT if in step 1 pre-authentication is disabled. I won't get into the details of this and how it works, but people would disable pre-authentication because with Active Directory, some people were experiencing issues where Windows 10 users would get locked out if pre-auth was enabled. So they would just tick this checkbox and all their problems would go away, or at least so they thought. Little did they know it introduced a whole new attack vector which made the rest of the protocol vulnerable. So I'm going to show you how this can be abused. And so we'll use the get np user script from the in-packet suite, which will get the TGTs for users that don't require pre-auth. Then I'll crack that with using John the Ripper. Then I'll use EvilWinRM to get a remote management shell, which I can use to access the account. So let's head on over to the terminal. First we'll run get np users, specify the domain name, domain controller IP address, and just a user list that we can brute force. I came up with these through some reconnaissance earlier in the challenge. So we got one. So it's the user fsmith, and this is their TGT. So I copied all this into a file called fsmith.asrep. We're going to use John the Ripper, specify the format as Kerberos 5 asrep, use the rocku.txt word list because that generally works. I have actually done this already, so I won't actually show the password here. So the password is thestrokes23. Let's head on over to EvilWinRM, specify the IP address, username, password, and we will run the script. So I'll just take a moment, and then basically we should get access to the fsmith account. And yep, there we go. So I won't get any further from here. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. It was a real world example of how some simple sloppiness, which people will do without thinking because it solves their issue, can have such a devastating effect and make their whole system vulnerable. I really enjoyed doing these HackTheBox challenges, and if any of you guys wanted to start doing it, advice I'll give you is stay dedicated and don't get demoralized if things don't go your way. These challenges are hard. There's a reason I was only able to do 2 during the whole term, so just keep at it and you'll get there eventually. See you guys.